Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for those that have stuck around in here to listen to me talk about converged communications data and what you can do with it. So today, I'm Andy White. I'm the product director at Redbox, so I look after all of our roadmap, learning about the things that our customers and partners like Britannic want to do, and making sure that we're sitting there right at the top of our game. So today, I'm talking about data and what it means to us and what it means to you. So the first thing to know about data is there's loads of it. We talk about voice data at Redbox. We capture calls mainly. So in a call center, we have agents sitting there on the phone every day, talking. We've got call centers with 10,000 agents, 3 million calls a month. We have a public safety customer, 18 million radio calls a month. All of that becomes noise. That data contains context, it contains value. And the term I heard this morning that I thought was fantastic was data-rich, insight-poor. So what do you have to do to turn all this raw data into useful information? That data comes from lots of different places. It comes from your telephone systems, your traditional telephony, fixed lines, analog. It can come from multiple different systems. It can come from your mobile phones. It can come from your trading turrets. It can come from emergency services radio. And all that data is unstructured. We have a little bit of knowledge about when it happened. We have a little bit of knowledge about what it contains, about who was talking. But most of the time, all you know is that there's a big lump of audio data. Now, a 12-hour shift in a contact center, one person talking, you can generate 800 hours of audio. Analysing those calls using something like Quantify QM means you can only ever sample a tiny proportion, because for every hour of audio you generate, it will take someone an hour to listen to it. It's never going to happen. So analysing those is resource and time intensive. It's not the best data, and it's not always available straight away. So what are some of the things you can do to make that better? So this is where Redbox comes in. This is making sure we can capture everything that's coming in from your PBX, from your UC platforms, from your call center, from your radio, from your mobile, from your trading floor. We're getting it from your legacy systems. We're getting it from your newest IP platforms. And what can you do with it? We actually want to involve it with everything else. We want to make sure you've got your rich data for replay, for reconstructing events, for talking about or connecting to other systems. But voice isn't useful on its own. What you really need is transcribed audio data. This is where you can take all that audio data and turn it into something useful that you can use to interact with other systems. No data is particularly useful in its own system. How many of you sit there every week and pull data off a particular system at work? How many of you do it from more than one system? How many of you have to sit there and manually generate those reports? All of these things that we want to do now, we want to do automatically. We want to make sure that we can communicate with as many different systems as possible. We want to make sure that where your voice data sits in any platform, we can send your audio data out and attach it to your CRM. We want to make sure we can take structured data, turn that voice into something useful, and share it with your compliance and BI vendors. How can we do that? So it's about unlocking your voice data. So over the years, people have come up with lots of different solutions, and not all of them have been fantastic. However, we found a great partner working with us. They've spent the last 30 years developing speech recognition. And these guys have spent all their time, back in the 80s, purely theoretical, because there was no way that anything was powerful enough to do what they needed. It's only been in the last 5 years that all of a sudden, the computing power that you can afford today actually brings this to your business. So we can have software that recognizes and transcribes that speech in 28 different languages. It does it with a really high rate of accuracy and understands, in some languages, 250,000 words. All of this we can use to take that data and turn it into useful information. Information you can push through to your analytics platforms, information you can put through to your compliance platforms. And all of this, if it needs to, can happen on your premises. You don't have to share your data with any third parties. It can all happen within your network. And as a very techie person, I like saying deep neural networks. It doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but what it says is that this is machine learning. This will get better over time. The data that it gets fed in starts making a difference to what you can do with it in your business. And once you've got it, what can you do with it? Analytics is the first thing everybody thinks of. All of this raw data that we have, it's there for you to look at when you know you want to look for something. It's there when you want to search and replay for it, but actually, it's only useful if you know what you're looking for. So, a great example we have today in our product is search. You're able to go in and look for a specific spoken word. So if you know that your customers should be saying something or may have said something, you can go and search for that. However, what you don't have, if you don't know what people are saying, you've got no way of searching for it. That's the difference between searching and understanding, and that's where raw data can really help you. So we can go in and look there, the speech recognition can tell you and surface that information. We have the ability to see what people are saying, the things you might not be expecting them to say, and what they're not saying. All of that are things that you can't do with raw voice data. It's about this transformation. And then you can look at it with compliance as well. Being able to integrate with your archiving platforms. So partners like Actians and Bloomberg that can make sure you can store that for your record keeping, making sure you comply with MiFID regulations. You can search and analyze these recordings to look. Sentiment analysis. I'm sure lots of you work in call centres want to know, are your customers happy? What are they saying about your business? All of that you can do automatically. And for the first time, you can start touching 100% of the calls you've got going through your system. That is a really valuable opportunity. No more picking out your 1% samples. No more looking at, okay, who am I going to look at this month? You can start using your reporting and analytics tools to pull in every single call that's made into your business. All of that through the power of machine learning. It's accurate. It can work in multiple languages. So whether you've got UK call centres, US call centres, different versions of English, anybody that phones in, you can get a transcription. All of that feeds into your other systems. Because we know at Redbox that a call recording system doesn't sit on its own. We sit there with our partners at Mitel, plugged into their telephone system. We sit there with CRM partners. All of that means that we sit within an ecosystem. What we want to do is recognise that each business has its own unique data requirements. Each department within a business have their own requirements. No one, no matter what they say, can provide out of the box everything that you need for your business. Everyone has a unique requirement. They want to pull through reports from their CRM. IT people want to pull through reports from their technology platforms. I, as a technology manager, I want to pull through things to know who my team are talking to, why they're talking to them. And I know that isolated data isn't useful. I don't like pulling in one report from that system. I don't want to pull in a report from that system and sit there playing with Excel to merge it together. I want to be able to deploy and work with business intelligence platforms that work and give me a holistic view across my business. I want to make sure that I have all of the data available, all of the systems that I use have that data. And that means I work with partners that give me that access. I don't want to lock you in. All of this data that we record, it's yours. It has no value to Redbox. It's valuable to the people it belongs to. And we have to make sure that we have an open API that covers all aspects of our platform. We want to make sure that anybody that comes along, whether it's working with our partners at Britannic to provide a new interaction, whether it's your own IT teams wanting to pull data out and report on it, all of that we know we can provide. And we don't want to lock you into our platform. We want to make sure that you can pull that into anything you want. We know your data is valuable, and that's why we give you access to it. Now, we want to make sure that we have access to your recordings. We want to give you access to transcription. And all of that is about the way we deliver our platform, whether it's on-premise with you in your data center, whether it's hosted by a partner like Britannic, or whether it's sitting in the cloud somewhere. All of that is able to be delivered by a Redbox system. We've got the most comprehensive API out of all of our competitors, and we want to make sure that anybody can take advantage of that. We have the ability to interact with the latest web systems, so anybody that's got a REST API can interact with us. We work with older traditional systems as well, but that's across every single area of our system, whether that's searching for calls, whether that's getting an export every time something happens, whether that's importing data in to get a whole view of your estate in one place. All of that, Redbox APIs can do. We can even let you control your recorders as well. So all of this gives you the ability to work with your own in-house CRM. You can sit there working with your Dynamics install. Anything that you need to do, we can do via APIs. You can do, our partners can do. Anybody can sit there and bring data into Redbox, bring it out, because all it means for us, data and intelligence for you, making sure you have the insight you need and making sure you've got the guaranteed capture of every call that comes into your business. Okay, now I've been slightly fast on this one, but anybody who wants to come and see a demo of our platform, wants to talk to us about transcription, and if the Wi-Fi holds up, even some demos of transcription as well, then come and see us sitting over there. Kat and Paul will be waiting to talk to you. All right. Thanks, everyone.